All right, can you please introduce yourself, Andy?
Yes, my name's Andy Taz Young. I'm 29, about to turn 30 years old on Sunday, and I'm a professional mixed martial arts fighter. Been fighting for about 10 years now, and I've won six professional titles, two different weight divisions, Irish bantamweight champion, three-time British champion, and two-time world champion. So a lot of kind of gold on the mantle, and for me, it's all about fighting the best competition out there and just enjoying this journey that I'm on.
All right, why did you start training MMA in the first place? What inspired you?
Well, I mean, I was always into martial arts, and I trained from a very young age, about 5, 6 years old, and did a lot of playing around watching, Bruce Lee movies and that, and it always appealed to me to be able to bring all the styles of martial arts together. And when I first seen like the UFC, um, that actually came to my hometown of Belfast when I was about 18 years old. So I went over, of course, to watch it, and I said to myself, I want to compete in that sport and get to the very top of it. So it was just a massive inspiration to be able to see the top level guys on the planet compete, especially in my hometown. So a big inspiration for me.
What is your basic martial art and how would you describe your own fighting style?
Well, I mean, I have to be very well rounded these days, but I do prefer to strike. A knockout is always a lot more fun than a submission, in my opinion. So I'll always look to the knockout and work the boxing and ground and pound. So yeah, it's kind of my style, striking and a bit of ground and pound, and yeah, kind of the boxing with a couple of elbows added in is more my style.
All right, about your titles you mentioned, but BMMA, right?
What's that?
About your titles, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Which titles you hold exactly?
So I hold the Irish bantamweight title, and I hold that's for the ISKA under a local show, Clan Wars. And after that, I went and won the UC MMA, previously Cage Wars or whatever it was called back in the day. But we got three titles over in England, three different British titles, and we moved on to get the two world titles. That was for BAMA, and that was for WWFC.
Yeah, it's great. So is MMA popular in Norton Island?
Yes, definitely. I mean, everyone obviously knows Conor McGregor from, down south in Dublin, but, up the Northerners, we've got a lot of very, very high level fighters, and I guess it's just like that kind of Irish mentality. We just love to compete and fight, and there's a lot of amazing talent up here. Norman Park, Reese McKee, Alan Philpott, and a lot of the top guys, Carl Murray and that, and yeah, there's a lot of great fighters from up here.
Oh, it's amazing. So your moniker is Taz, right? So why is your moniker Taz? Is there a special reason for that?
No, not particularly. Like I said, I love to compete and travel and do what I love. So I'll take a fight anywhere, and I just love the opportunity to do what I love.
All right, you had in the beginning of your pro career, as if I saw well, you had three losses, but you bounced back with the win. It must have been a very, very difficult period for you. So how did you overcome the crisis?
Yeah, so I started the career fighting at featherweight. So I was two divisions up from where I am now. I was fighting guys a lot heavier, a lot bigger, and they were very, very high level. Brian Moore, Decky Dalton, and my teammate Alan Philpott. So I fought three of the top guys at higher weight classes. So they weren't nobodies; they were very great opponents. But obviously, losses are losses. So it definitely not my confidence at the start. But I just knew that um, I wasn't a nobody. I had a lot of ability there, and I wanted to prove it. So I took myself off to America, to the jungle, in Florida, Orlando. So it was a great gym out there, and I went out and trained by myself for 6 weeks. So it was kind of just a journey of really finding myself and going away by myself, and just doing that whole, eat, sleep, train kind of ethos. And it just kind of made me realize, how I do have a lot here. I've got a lot of skill, got a lot of a bright future if I can just perform. So I trained out there and I came back and I joined Next Generation under Rodney Moore, and it's the best thing that's ever happened. And he got me on the right path and started to get the wins and get the titles.
Many of your matches, as well as I could have seen, went to the judge decisions or scorecards. So the match I watched, literally, I noticed that you maintained the same pace during the whole bout. So would you call yourself a cardio machine or?
You can call me a cardio machine if you want. Yeah, I'll take it. To be honest, like cardio's I mean, everyone trains cardio for the fights, but there's always, for me anyway, there's always a fear of getting tired. And it happened in my first fight, and I got tired. I gassed out after a minute or two, and that put the fear in me. So ever since then, cardio's been my number one thing, and putting that pace and putting that pressure on people is just my style. So yeah, like cardio is a big kind of feather in my bow. That's something I really work and use.
Alright, about your rear naked choke victory. Okay, maybe I won't tell the name of your opponent correctly because,
Yeah. Yes.
in my country it's very hard to say this. Alright, Barry McGugan, how do you call him?
Uh, McGuigan. Right,
Okay,
McGuigan.
I don't know to pronounce it, but that rear naked
Yeah,
choke
that's
victory,
right.
yeah, I watched
Yeah.
that bout and it was kinda, the rear naked choke came out of nowhere. How did you finish it?
Yeah, I mean, it came like a lot of the times I don't have to think in there. It's just muscle memory, and I just seen the opportunity and I just threw it in. But a lot of the times you have to get the hooks and stuff. But I had the opportunity to throw it in quick enough, and I've got a good squeeze, so I had that down, and I think it was kind of mentally I'd overtaken at that stage the fight, and I was on my way to winning regardless. So you give a guy kind of a way out, and you get him in a good lock. That's it.
What is your greatest victory of your whole career?
Um, I would definitely say the world title win in my hometown in Belfast. So I mean, I fought a very very dangerous opponent, Dominic Breazeale, who's like since then he's now moved up a couple of weight divisions and just destroying guys. He's a very good opponent. So a lot of people were counting me out and thought he was gonna just walk through me. So to go in and fight in my hometown with a world title fight on the line and to fight such a good opponent, it was a massive night for me. And to go out and take him down, I felt like I was overtaking him on the feet, which is his strength. And then I took him down and got him in a choke and finished it. And to stand up and have the hands up and just see the crowd and see my hometown fans like cheering for me, it was just something I'll never forget. And it was definitely one of the best nights, and best fights of my life.
All right, I wanted to ask you specifically about Dominic. I've noticed many times. Okay, I noticed that he was taller and he had reach advantage, if I saw well. And many times you were just going forward and hooking him, going pushing towards the cage. Was this a part of the master plan, or it was like I have nothing else
Yeah.
to do because he's longer?
Yeah, so I've got my boxing coach, Brian Morgan, really, really worked a lot with me for that fight. And it was just a lot about feints and not and know when I was going in and just pressure. I mean, against the southpaw, you pressure fight those guys, and I was just ready for everything in that fight and so well prepared. But yeah, like a lot of guys against a good striker, they get very hesitant and they step back, and that's when you're in danger. So I came forward and it worked very well for me. So.
I guess this was your most difficult opponent, Dominic, right? Or there was someone else?
Well, there's been a lot of tough opponents. I would say I was on a skiing holiday in France, and I was drinking red wine and eating croissants, and I got a phone call in the airport on the way home to ask if I wanted to fight Ali Park Antonov, who fought for the UFC world title against Demetrius Johnson in 3 weeks. So I came home, I thought about it, talked to my coaches, and it was too good an opportunity to miss. So yeah, he's definitely the highest caliber opponent I fought, and it was unfortunate it was short notice, but I felt I had no excuses. I felt fantastic, and went in and had a great 3-round fight. So he got the decision that night, but I'd love to get that fight again if I had a bit more time to prep. But yeah, he was a very very tough opponent.
You said in Cage Warriors fight versus Sam Creasy that I hope I pronounced his name well. That
Yes.
something didn't went well in that bout. I saw you lost via anonymous decision, but you said something was wrong in that match. So what happened?
Oh no, he was very elusive, and again, game plans can be very good, and they can work for you, but they can also work against you. And I was not expecting Sam to be fighting that style of fight. Thought he was going to pressure and come forward and look to grapple, and instead he backed away and did some really nice striking. So it was just hard to catch him. It was very tricky, very elusive. And yeah, I think I was putting a bit too much pressure on my shoulders going into that fight. So it's just, I mean, there's always going to be like reasons why you never got the win, but there's no excuses. I felt amazing for the fight. It was just on the night. It was his night. But it's a learning process. You learn and improve from it.
So what do you think? Who will you meet next? Who is the next in the line for you?
So I've got a fight. I don't know if I can announce it, but it's at the end of September. I can say that maybe. But I'm looking to fight all the top flyweights. I would rather be fighting the best guys in the world and maybe losing decisions than fighting nobodies and getting wins. For me, it's not about ego. It's just about getting, the best out of myself, and that's only going to happen when I fight the best guys in the world. So I'll continue to compete against the top boys and work my way up. I want to get another world title. I just want to at least go down as having collected the most titles in MMA if I can do that. So that's six. I want to get 10. So we'll see.
So I wanted to ask you, when you fight the opponent, so this is exactly when you fight the opponent. Is there something that creates you a very big problem when you fight the opponent? Because I've noticed that you don't have problem with big guys, which is very weird because most people have it. And is there something that really makes you a problem when fighting someone? Is that something that irritates you?
Not really. No, I mean, I'll try and fight the same way almost every time, and it's just every fighter's different. Every martial artist is different, but my style is always to get in right into the person's face and put it on them, and a lot of guys can't deal with that. So it doesn't matter about size or anything. I come to fight and I'll bring a pace the entire time.
Okay, do you have an ultimate MMA dream? I mean, everybody has it, right?
Yeah, UFC champion, all this. But of course, it'd be great to be, the UFC champion. But for me, again, it's more I want to be the best version of myself. I want to sit back after my MMA career and say, I really did everything. I traveled the world and I fought all the best guys. I collected all these titles, and I was known as the best, flyweight in the world. And that's what I want to do, and be known as the best and feel myself that I really did perform at my absolute, ultimate, really.
Well,
So just bring out
actually,
the best in me.
yeah, in UFC, as well as I know, there are no much flyweights, so
Yeah, it's this game. It's very strange.
mm,
It's one of the most exciting divisions in my opinion. So, I think ONE FC did some sort of backhand deal to get all the UFC guys on the ONE FC roster. So, but ONE FC that's a good show. I'd love to get on that. So, we'll see where it goes.
so how would some Asian promotions sound to you? For example, ONE FC Rising, does it sound acceptable to you, or you would be like, let me think?
If ONE FC offered me a contract,
Yeah, they did, and
yeah, shit, yeah, I take that.
so
Yeah, like ONE FC. Yeah, it's one of the best shows on the planet for sure. So, um, my good friend, teammate Alan Philpott's out competing on ONE FC, so he's opening in the door, and get a few wins behind me, and I'll look towards a kind of Asia area of the world, and it's somewhere I haven't fought yet, so I'd love to get out and compete against some of the best guys.
oh, that's great. Oh, that would be all the questions. So, if you have something else to say, I'm keen. If you have something else to say, I'm interested. Or is there something else we didn't speak? So, would you like to add? And
No, it's just, I mean, for me, it's a lot of people are now in MMA getting into trash talking and trying to copy McGregor. And Conor McGregor's done fantastic, like with promotion, and he's made a lot of money from it. But I think people are being a lot very fake these days, and we're moving away from the respect and the martial arts and what it was stood for. So I going forward, I just think that the sport needs to become more, all about more respect and just about testing each other's skills and not getting into the whole trash talk and entertainment side of it. But it's hard. It's like it's a hard balance. But yeah, get back into the martial art philosophy and the respect would be great to see for the sport.
Yeah, this is
So
the thing I also support in the world of mixed martial arts, because in ONE FC there is no trash talking and such things, and nobody cares. They care only about your performance in the octagon. While, for example, while
yes,
I'm writing for Middle Easy, for example, I must take a look. Oh, this guy said this, that guy said that. I was like, okay, man, just give me a break, please. But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
the description of the job. Yeah.
I know it is. And it's an entertainment sport, so you really got to play the entertainment side. But I mean, St. Pierre's a great example. He never trash talked and, he
Yeah.
did the business and he was, yeah, one of the best ever. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
to get one of
absolutely
that would be
great.
great.